Hi Titos and Titas! Welcome to my channel. This is me again, your Juris Tita. And today I'm going to teach you how to create a new style kind of reporting. I received requests for me to create tutorials kung paano ko ginawa yung news reporting namin. Yung parang nasa news ka talaga, yung e-ere sa TV, ganyan, breaking news. Diba? So, makikita niyo yan sa aking previous video, corporation law news reporting. So, it was presented in our class and our professor tasked us to create a report. Dapat creative way of reporting. So, naisip ko, mag-news na lang tayo, ganyan. Kasi, actually, naisip yun ng group dahil meron din kaming teammate who happens to be a news reporter before. So, sabi namin, para maganda yung news reporting nila. So, yeah. We decided to create that news reporting. So, I think our professor naman was happy with the outcome. And actually, favorite professor ko siya sa corporation law. So, sa tingin ko na happy naman siya sa aming report. And ang ganda ng feedback nung report namin. Kaya naman, maraming nagre-request ng tutorial kung paano ko siya ginawa. So, I'll make it easier for you. I'll create a tutorial right now. So, kung mapapansin nyo, naka-workout outfit ako. Kasi, during breaks, nag-workout ako. Kasi may work ako full time. So, 8 to 5 p.m. during 12 noon, nag-workout ako. So, instead of working out, eto, ginagawa ko tong tutorial dahil nga, maraming asynchronous classes right now dahil nagpetition sa kanya-kanyang deans sa law school dahil nga yung kinakaharap natin ngayon na COVID-19 pandemic brings so much stress sa mga tao and marami na yung nagsasuffer yung mental health nila. Kaya, yun, marami nagpetition for an asynchronous class. Kaya, kanina, may nag-message sa akin, sabi niya, kung paano ko ginawa yung news reporting nga dahil asynchronous class sila, so nagpapatulong. So, instead of isa-isahin ko kayong i-message kung paano ko siya ginawa, I'll just create this tutorial. So, please watch this. So, hi Titos and Titas. So, right now, we are going to start the tutorial. So, first, I'll walk you through the sequence of breaking news. So, una, syempre, merong OBB. Here's the OBB, as you can see. Yan. That is called OBB. Opening billboard. Okay? Alright. Alright. So, after the opening billboard, of course, you need transition, graphics. So, pagkatapos nun, opening spills. So, this is the opening spills. So, ng anchor. After that, you need also yung graphics. Ito kasi graphics background dito, yung anchor. Template din yan. So, bibigyan ko kayo ng template yan. Lahat ng mga graphics dito, bibigyan ko kayo ng template. I will include it in this tutorial. So, yan. Tapos, pagkatapos nyan, so, kailangan may anchor kayo. Susunod, meron kayong news reporter or yung field reporter kung tawagin. And of course, may graphics din, graphics frame. So, bibigyan ko rin kayo niyan ng template. So, you can just place the text here kung ano yung topic nyo. Pwede nyong lagyan na lang siya ng text. So, yung bibigay ko sa inyo, yung empty template para naman pwede nyo siyang i-tweak. Okay? So, after the news reporter, kailangan nyo rin of course ng slideshow nung news, 'di ba? Para naman maganda tignan, hindi lang puro talking heads, hindi lang puro yung news reporter at yung anchor yung nakikita nyo. So, susunod dyan ay eto. Of course, kailangan meron ka ring graphics frame nung iyong
O, di ba may virus yung computer ko? Okay. So, hindi pala virus yun. Hindi ko alam, pop-up ata yan. So, kung tawagin. Hindi ko alam. Basta lagi siyang lumalabas dyan. So, yun. Kailangan mo rin ng graphics frame para dun sa mga interviewees mo. So, yan. Kung mapapansin nyo, yan yung interviewee namin. So, pwede nyo lagyan siya ng pangalan dito sa empty text box. So, yan. Tapos, after nyan, yun, gano'n naman yung hati niya. So, pagtas nyan, pwedeng ibalik nung field reporter sa, ayan, pwedeng additional, meron naman kayong crawler. Yan. Ang tawag dyan, crawler, yung nasa ilalim. Pwede kayong may crawler. Yan. Tapos, pwede ring naka 3 frame kayo nung, saan na yun? Yan. Pwede rin kayo naka 3 frames, diba? Yan, bibigyan ko rin kayo ng template niyan. So, ipapasok nyo lang yung video sa mga klase nyo dyan sa mga boxes. Okay, tapos, yan, of course, ito, nilalagay rin to yung monitor, lalagyan nyo ng video, of course, yung title nyo, yung pangalan ng report, pwede nyo ilagay dito. So, yun, bibigyan ko naman kayo ng template so it will not be hard for you to edit. So, ano lang yan, insert lang ng video tsaka insert text. And you're all set for your reporting and for submission. So, yan. Okay, so interviewees, anchor. Ayan, interviewees ulit. Tapos, yan. Okay, news reporter. Okay. Alright, so yun lang naman ng niyan. So, sequence niya, anchor, field reporter, interviewees, tapos pwedeng bumalik ulit sa field reporter, tapos anchor ulit. Tapos, ang pinakadulo niyan ay mag-extra spills na yung field reporter nyo, ibabato niya sa anchor ulit. Yan. Tapos, yung anchor ay mag-extra spills na or closing spills. So, pagtas nun, OBB na ulit. Yung OBB, pwede nyo na rin siyang CBB. Okay? So, of course, yung credits, lagay nyo dyan. Tapos, yun. Ano yung unang-unang kailangan nyong gawin? Of course, you need to create a script. 'Di ba? Para naman mabilis ang pag-shoot. Kami may script kami na ginawa for this. And then after that, each member of the group should shoot. O, tuturuan ko kayo kung paano mag-shoot. So, ang gawin nyo para mas madali, etong lahat ng videos namin, this was recorded only via Zoom. Hindi na kami gumamit ng external camera. Kasi sa Zoom, madaling magpalit ng Zoom background. So, ang gawin nyo, ito, papakita ko sa inyo ha. Punta kayo sa menu ng Zoom and choose virtual background. Yan. Pag nag-shoot na kayo. So, choose kayo ng virtual background. Ayan. I'm not sure kung nakikita nyo yung screen ko. Nakikita ba? Or hindi? Oh my gosh, hindi ba nakikita? So, yun. I think nakikita naman. So, yan. First thing you need to do when shooting via Zoom, palitan nyo yung virtual background nyo ng color green. Download lang kayo ng green, chroma green sa Google Chrome. Huwag yung merong watermark. Yan. Dapat plain green. Okay? So, kung wala naman kayong mahanap, ang gawin nyo na lang, di ba may mga photo editing software, PixArt, Adobe Photoshop, gawa lang kayo ng box na color green, tapos i-upload nyo rito sa Zoom, palitan nyo yung virtual background nyo. Okay? So, yan ang kailangan nyong gawin. Para kapag kailangan palitan yung background nyo, katulad ng anchor, di ba? kailangan niyang ipasok doon sa virtual studio. So, kailangan naka-green screen para maipasok natin siya. Okay? So, para naman doon sa mga interviewees, pwede nyong lagyan na siya ng background. For example, yung interviewee nyo ay nasa International Court of Justice. Yun. Pwede nyo siya ilagyan ng ganyan. Buo na. Like, pwede nyo siyang palitan kung nasaan siya. Kuwari, yung interviewee nyo naman ay nasa beach. Pwede lagay nyo sa beach, di ba? Wow, ang ganda ng beach. Nakakamiss mag-travel. Anyway, so yan. Kumari, nasa nasa grasshopper pala ang peg mo. Edi, sa grass ka, di ba? So, yun. Lagay nyo na sa script kung saan ba dapat yung location niya para hindi rin mahirapan yung mag-e-edit sa inyo. Pwedeng may background na. Ang mga kailangan lang na naka-green screen ay yung anchor. At kung hindi nagwo-work yung virtual background sa kaklase nyo, that's the only time na kailangan nyo mag-green screen. Kasi kung lahat yan naka-green screen at tatapalan pa ng virtual background ng editor, mahirapan. So, kung kaya nyo nang i-green screen na, green screen nyo na. Diba? Sabihin nyo, hi, I'm here at LU. Ganon. Report nyo about environmental law. Diba? So, pwedeng ito ang background nyo. So, yun. Ganyan lang. So, mag-shoot na kayo. So, may recording naman yan. I-record nyo yung inyong video. And then, after that, magsisave na yan sa computer nyo. And then, lagay nyo sa isang Google Drive folder. Okay? So, that's the first step. Second step yun. Kasi first is script, second is to shoot, and then third is to edit. Okay? So, pagka nakuha nyo na lahat ng videos, ang gagawin nyo na lang, for example, ito. Yan. Itong background na to, ito-tweak ko para makita nyo. Yan siya. Kita nyo? Green screen siya, di ba? Gagawin nyo dyan para i-chroma key nyo. So, kung naka-Adobe Premiere kayo, ang gagawin nyo, punta kayo sa Effects, click nyo yung key. Yan. Punta kayo sa Ultra Key. Okay? Place nyo lang. Tapos, punta kayo ulit sa Effects, Effect Controls, and then, after that, punta ka sa itong composite, yung output, palitan mo ng alpha channel. Okay? Tapos, click mo to. Okay. Dapat kasi dalawang monitor para nakikita nyo yung yan. Lipat natin. Yan. Para mas madaling mag-edit. Dito ko na lang lalagay yung video. So, lalagay yung video. Ayan. Kumari dyan na lang. Ayan. Okay. So, ito yung screen nyo, diba? Yan yung na-shoot nyo. For example, medyo yung angulo ko dyan, ha? Okay, so ang gagawin nyo dyan, di ba, pumunta ka sa Effects. Tapos, wait lang for a while. Ayan, lipat natin sa kabila para makita nyo. Yan. Okay, pumunta ka sa Effects Control, di ba? Pinalitan mo na yung output ng alpha channel. Punta ka ngayon dito sa Dropper Key Color. Okay, palitan mo yung green. Pindot mo lang yung green. So, after that, balik ka ulit sa composite. Tapos, butas na yan pagkatapos. Yun. Mabubutas siya. So, ito yung video ko. Pwede mo yan palakihin. Ayan. Tinan mo. Diba? So, pwede mo siyang palakihin. Okay, so, para makita nyo. Itutugma mo lang siya doon sa table. Di ba, manananggal lang yung peg? So, yun. Tugma mo lang siya sa table. Ayan. Tapos, after that, etong, butas din to. Butas yung graphics na to. Naka-green screen din to. So, yan. Kung mapapansin nyo. Tanggalin muna natin. Ayan. Yan siya. So, lalagyan mo siya ng video, tatapalan mo siya ng video. Ayan, tapalan mo siya. Okay, so naka-nest yung sequence ko. Hindi yun na actually kailangan mag-nest. Medyo ano lang yung, ano kasi inayos ko talaga siya, yung graphics. So, medyo matrabaho. Pero, bibigay ko na sa inyo yung hindi na kailangan i-nest-nest. Ganyan. Para tapal lang kayo ng tapal ng video at text. So, yun. After that, so, yun yung kailangan yung gawin. So, ganun din naman. The same applies sa lahat ng may borders. Eto. Basta tandaan nyo lang na yung border dapat nasa taas yung layer niya. Tapos nasa babang layer yung video na tatapalan nyo. Okay? So, ganun lang naman siya. Tapos, ganun lang kadali mag-chroma key. I-research nyo lang kung mag-filmora kayo paano siya i-chroma key. So, itong mga to, yan, ano na, di na sila nag-green screen dyan. Kumbaga gawa na yung virtual background nila. Kapag ka nag-green screen ka naman, edi same lang din ang gawin mo. For example, wait lang, gawa tayo dito. For example, ayan, ito. Kunwari lang, ay, hindi, for a while. Tayo, ayan. Kunwari, ito. Ayan. Gawa tayo. Yan, 'di ba? Yan yung template. Gawin mo, bubutasin mo siya. Paano mo siya bubutasin? Punta ka sa effects. Okay? Tapos, yan, ganyan makikita mo. Type mo lang key. Ultra key. Tapos, apply mo siya dito sa video. Tapos, lalabas na siya sa effects controls. Tapos, ibaba mo lang. May kita mo dyan yung output, composite, setting, key color. So, sa output, gawin mong alpha channel. Ganyan yung mangyayari. Magiging all white siya. Tapos, click mo yung key color. Tapos, yung gusto mong butasin na color, like itong green yung bubutasin natin. So, i-click mo lang dyan. So, ganyan yung lalabas sa kanya. Kasi naka-alpha channel pa siya. Ibig sabihin, black and white yan. Okay? Yung black, yun yung mabubutas na part. Yung white, yun yung mareretain. So, click mo ulit yung alpha channel, gawin mong composite. So, yan, butas na siya. Diba? So, ang gagawin mo dyan, itataas mo yung layer kasi frame siya, diba? So, meron kang ipapasok sa loob. Meaning niyan, meron kang ipapasok sa loob na video. So, for example, video ko. Hanap tayo nung naka-green screen na video ko. Where is it? Para makita nyo rin paano yung gagawin. Kailangan naka-green screen para maturuan ko kayo kung paano yung step by step niya. Diba? Hanap tayo. Na-double click ko lang yan. Error. Cancel nyo lang siya. Bagay pala yung outfit ko sa virtual background. Oh my gosh, so nag-crash yung aking ano. Yung pala, iwas crash. Meron yan saved area. Wait for the program to respond. Sige, close na natin. Close the program. Restart na lang tayo. So, yan. While waiting for restart. Ayan. Key. Balik tayo doon. Diba? Balik tayo sa aking ayan, balik tayo. Final latag. So, kunwari nasa beach ako. Nasa beach. Sobrang funny. April 8. Ayan. So, lumabas na siya. Teka, ilagay lang natin ulit dito para makita nyo yung dalawang monitors for a while. Okay, where is it? Let's see. Ilagay ba? Actually, yung ano naman, yung automatic na ano niya, preview. Ganun naman, nakadalawa talaga siya. Kaya lang nabago lang yung dito. So, yan. Ano natin, para magkasama sila. Okay. So, yan. Gawa tayo ngayon para makita nyo. So, saan ako nag-stop kanina? So, for example, hanap tayo dito. Ito, example. Yan. Papansin nyo, may green pa siya, di ba? Okay. Para maibaba. Yan. May green pa siya, di ba? Ang kailangan nyo gawin, punta kayo sa effects. Type nyo key. Ultra key. Ayan. Tapos, lagay nyo lang, apply nyo dun sa video. Tapos punta kayo sa effect controls ng video. Para sure, i-double click nyo muna yung video, tapos punta kayo sa effects control. Kasi minsan, iba yung naka-highlight na video, baka dun mag-apply yung effects nyo. Okay, so after that, punta ka sa ultra key, output setting key color, palitan mo yung composite ng alpha channel. So, tapos click mo tong key color na eye drop, parang dropper. Tapos, click mo yun doon sa green screen. Yan. Ganyan ang mangyayari sa kanya pagka na-click mo na yung green screen. So, yung black, yun yung mawawala. Magiging transparent. Yung white, yun yung mare-retain. So, balik ka ulit sa output, gawin mo na siyang composite. So, yan na. Butas na yung green screen. So, after nyan, hanap ka na ng video. For example, hanap tayong video. Hanap sana ako nung tao, tapos merong yung tag dito. Teka, hanap tayo nung spills ko. Para show reveal in project. Yan. Nasaan na siya? Eto. Show in reveal in project. Ito ba yun? Ayan nga. So, ito yung naka-green screen ko, di ba? Kung mapapansin nyo. Oo. Ngayon, dito, di ba, yan yung border nyo, yung black. Ilagay nyo siya sa ilalim. Okay? Bakit siya hindi nakikita? Okay. Sige. Okay. Kaya hindi nakikita kasi naka-hide to. Ayan, on nyo lang. May kita na yan. Oh, di ba? So, gagawin nyo dyan, liitan nyo yung scale, ipasok nyo lang siya dun sa box. Yan. Key. Yan. O, diba? So, pagkatapos nyan, papansin nyo, wala akong background, diba? So, gagawin nyo ulit yung ginawa natin kanina na chroma. So, effects, punta kayo sa effects, type nyo ulit key, tas ultra key. Tapos, apply nyo sa video. Tapos, gawin nyo lang ulit yung same steps kanina. Alpha channel, click nyo yung dropper, click nyo yung green screen. So, yan yung mareretain, yung naka-white. So, sa output, balik nyo na sa composite. So, butas na siya, diba? Butas na rin yung video ko. So, kailangan nyo siya lagyan ng background. So, hanap tayo ngayon ng background na maganda. Ano ba gusto niyong background? Ayun, ito. Yayamanin yung background natin. Gusto ko, di ba? Nasa library tayong maganda. So, lagay nyo lang sa ilalim. Tcharan! So, may sound effects na gano'n. Oh, di ba? Ganun lang siya. Patong-patong lang. Ulit. Ah, di ba? Bongga. Bongga. So, yan. Ganyan siya. Tapos, paglalagyan nyo ng text, punta kayo sa file. Yung sequence. Okay. Lagay ka dito na... Ay, hindi new sequence. Sorry. Balik tayo. Punta ka sa file. New legacy title. New sequence is new parang worksheet. Ganyan. So, dito. Lagay natin text for news. Yan. Okay. Tapos, maglagay ka lang dyan ng, ano bang subject? Library. Yan. Gawin mo siyang color black para makita. Library. Yan. O, tapos, lagay mo dyan. Wala ka na kung ano gusto mong font style. Kaya mo ng ibang font style. Pwede naman. Yan. Tapos, lalabas yan dito. Tapos, lalabas yan doon sa latag mo. Lalagay mo lang siya sa taas ulit. Para yan. Okay, play natin. Para makita nyo. O, diba? Ganun lang siya kadali. So, di kayo mahirapan kasi bibigyan ko na kayo ng template na ginamit namin. So, ganito siya pag wala nung frame. O, diba? Pinatong-patong lang. Ganun. Okay, so, sana natuto kayo from me. Make sure nyo pala na pag nag-shoot kayo ng video, ay hindi sumasapaw yung green screen sa mukha nyo. Dahil pag binutas yan ng chroma key, for sure, mabubutas rin yung mukha nyo. So, one way na para magawa nyo yan, na sure na ay maglagay kayo ng ilaw sa mukha nyo. Kasi mas maliwanag yung mukha nyo dapat kaysa sa background para mabutas siya. Ganun. Okay, so, yun. Yun na yung tutorials natin. So, stop share. Okay?
So there you have it, Titos and Titas. You have the editing tutorial of the new style kind of reporting. So after this video, you'll see the templates I've prepared and created para naman it will be easier for you to insert the videos of your classmates or team members, and you'll just need to insert text para ma-incorporate doon yung inyong report. So there, sana nakatulong ako, and masaya akong tumulong dahil alam ko naman na marami pinagdadaanan ng mga tao, at this is just one way of helping you guys. So, good luck and God bless to your classes, and sana ma-impress niyo yung professors niyo by using these videos that I created. So, there.
Welcome to Seoul News Live. I am Rich Tiham, and this is your daily source of corporate news. One of the most popular companies in the Philippines, Ayala Corporation, has a major case with the Securities and Exchange Commission. As of this morning, there was a pending consideration of the amended Articles of Incorporation and Bylaws of Ayala Corporation by the Commission and Bank of the Securities and Exchange Commission. Said amendments consist of the reduction of the number of the Board of Directors from 11 to 5 and that of the membership in the Executive Committee from 5 to 3, respectively. Now, the question is this a valid and legitimate exercise of Ayala Company's corporate powers? We'll get to know more of this story from Cyril Copino.
That is right, Rich. The Securities and Exchange Commission has issued a resolution denying the instant petition of the Ayala Corporation for the approval of its amendments to its Articles of Incorporation. In the resolution signed by Chairman Rosario and Lopez and Associate Commissioner Armando Gonzalez, the corporate regulator refused to accept the amendments laid down by the Ayala Corporation to its Articles of Incorporation. The proposed amendments include the reduction of the number of the board of directors from 11 to 5 and that of the membership in the executive committee from 5 down to 3. Ayala Corporation claims that amending its articles and bylaws is a legitimate and valid exercise of its corporate powers.
Right, right. But that has always been the case. Every time there's change, the people who feel like they have been aggrieved will try to find fault and try to revert things back to the way that and push to revert things back to the way that they have been used to. But Ayala Corporation's amendment of its articles and bylaws was done in a legitimate manner and is a valid exercise of the company's corporate powers as vested in the stockholders. In fact, this matter was approved by our stockholders representing 87.3% of the corporation's total outstanding shares. And in that meeting, all the significant majority groups, except for one who was duly notified of the meeting but who couldn't make it, however, sent a representative without proxy, none of the stockholders objected to or voted against the amendment. So we stand in the position that there was no irregularity in this matter, that this is legitimate, and we were merely that the company was merely exercising its corporate powers.
Meanwhile, President and General Manager of Armstrong Securities, Tony King, expressed his objection to the amendment, saying it will prejudice the minority shareholders' rights.
Let us take a look at this. Let us say the corporate affairs could be better served with a lesser number of directors. But how about the minority stockholders? These amendments will certainly result in the diminution of the rights of the minority stockholders. That is why I strongly object to these amendments, because these will not only prejudice, but these will also disenfranchise the rights of the minority stockholders to participate in the management of the company. And once this is approved, its approval would set a discouraging precedent that would also affect the future of the stock trading in the country.
Stella Bray of Lanao Commodities also voiced out her disapproval of the modifications.
You know what? These amendments indicate a clear move of the Ayala Corporation management to reduce the participation of the small and minority stockholders like us. That is why I'm writing to the SEC to request for the disapproval of these proposed amendments.
In its resolution, the SEC stressed that the amendments applied for by Ayala will result in far-reaching implications and is set to affect the rights not only of present but also of future stockholders of the corporation. The Commission also reiterated its authority of protecting the investing public in order to create a better investment climate that would enhance greater economic opportunities, as mandated by Presidential Decree number 902-A as amended and under Section 143 of the Corporate Code. The Ayala Corporation is the country's oldest and largest conglomerate. It is listed in the Philippine Stock Exchange and its shares are publicly traded. Live here in Mandaluyong City, Cyril Copino for Sol News. Back to you, Rich.
Thank you very much, Cyril Copino. Joining us today are corporation law experts, Attorney Dara Lopez.
Good afternoon, Rich. Thank you for having me here.
And we also have one of the most popular corporate lawyers, Attorney Ayel Manlogon.
Thank you so much for having me. It's great to be in the show. Thank you so much for guesting us.
So attorneys, thank you very much for being with us today. With the issues at hand due to the amendments of the Articles of Incorporation and the bylaws of the Ayala Corporation, my question is, Can these proposed amendments to the Articles of Incorporation and Bylaws be given due course?
So to answer that question, I will cite the infamous Mr. Justice Wayne. He said that the alteration must be reasonable, they must be in good faith and consistent with the scope and object of the incorporation. Sheer oppression and wrong cannot be inflicted upon the guise of amendment or alteration. So is the amendment in good faith here? No, the proposed amendment will definitely affect the rights of the present and future stockholders, and hence cannot be given due course.
Also, here, there can be no doubt that the reduction of the number of board of directors from 11 to 5 members would result in the freezing out of the minority. It has been generally recognized that there are equitable limitations on the exercise of the amendment of power even when an amendment is adopted by the requisite statutory numbers of shares together with any required class vote.
Thank you for answering that. Many of us are also thinking of the authority of the Securities and Exchange Commission. So can the Securities and Exchange Commission look into the validity of these amendments?
Yes, as provided by the Corporation Code, the Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, shall have the power and authority to implement the provisions found in the Corporation Code. They are also authorized to promulgate rules and regulations necessary for it to perform its duties.
So bear in mind that even though it is a reserved right for the corporation to repeal its own contract or articles of incorporation, the SEC exercises the power of regulation and control in the interest of the public.
Attorney Dara and Attorney Ayel, thank you very much for answering our legal queries.
Thank you so much for
Thank
having
you.
us.
This is just in. The Securities and Exchange Commission has issued its resolution just now. We have with us live the Chairman and SEC Commissioner Rosario Lopez to discuss the ruling to the Ayala Corporation's case. Commissioner Lopez?
Hi, Rich. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to our viewers. The amendments to the Articles of Incorporation consisting of the reduction of the number of board of directors from 11 to 5 and that of the majority in the executive committee from 5 to 3 respectively is denied. The reason for this, Rich, is based on the Corporation Code, which provides that the amendment must be for legitimate purpose. And certainly, the purpose of freezing out the minority cannot be legitimate. In this case, even when an amendment has been regularly approved by the board of directors and by a majority shareholder or holders, the relatively unlimited contractual right to amend the articles becomes subject to overriding equitable considerations if the majority has used its position without due regard to the interests of the majority stakeholders. We must remember, Rich, that the fundamental principle in corporate law is that the reserved power of a corporation to amend its charter must be so exercised that the result will tend to benefit the corporation as a whole, and to distribute equitably the benefit or the sacrifice, as the case may be, between all groups in the corporation as their interest may appear. It is immaterial that amendments have been approved by majority of the members of the board and more than 2/3 of the outstanding capital stock. Jurisprudence provides that it is no longer seriously debated that majority shareholders owe a duty to at least act fairly to the minority interests, and the majority cannot avoid that duty merely because the action taken is legally authorized. But on the other hand, this does not mean that the directors or the majority shareholders should not be permitted to exercise their powers arbitrarily or without due regard to the legitimate expectations of the minority shareholders, and many of the older decisions, and practically all of recent ones, indicate that controlling shareholders in some circumstances at least owe fiduciary duties to minority shareholders, and that the courts will require them to observe accepted standards of business ethics in transactions affecting rights of minority shareholders.
So, given these statements, our question is, can the Commission look into the validity of these amendments?
The answer is yes. Under Section 143 of the Corporation Code, the Securities and Exchange Commission shall have the power and authority to implement the provisions of this code and to promulgate rules and regulations reasonably necessary to enable it to perform its duties hereunder, particularly in the prevention of fraud and abuses on the part of the controlling stockholders, members, directors, trustees, or officers. So, while the reserved right is in the interest of the state to modify or repeal its own contract with the corporation, it is in reality a continuing power of regulation and control in the interest of the public. The Commission must disapprove the subject amendments inasmuch as the same constitutes oppressive conduct towards the minority stockholders who by said amendments are deprived if a sporting chance to be represented in the board. Again, Rich, we'll go back to the statement of President Ramon Magsaysay. It is only fair and just that he who has less in life should have more in law. So that's all on my end, Rich. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chairman. We are really honored to have you in our show. Now, we will know the opinions of the people. Do they dissent or would they concur with the decision of the Securities and Exchange Commission? Let us find out as Cyril Copino reports.
Thank you, Rich. Now let's get the pulse of our citizens regarding the resolution by the SEC. Are they in favor or against it? We have on the line Ms. Marlene Cantalice. Good afternoon, Ms. Marlene. Let me ask you, do you agree with the recent ruling of the SEC and the amendments of the Ayala Corporation to its Articles of Incorporation?
Thank you for giving me this opportunity to voice out my dissenting opinion on the decision of the SEC. So let me enumerate my points then. Number one, the function of the SEC in processing the Articles of Incorporation is merely ministerial and not discretionary. Hence, if based on the incorporation papers, every requirement for amendment has been complied with, then all it has to do is to process the amendment. Number two, under the Due Process Clause of the Constitution, we have what we call economic liberty, which entitles an individual or entity to do anything it pleases in the economic field, subject to the exercise by the government of its inherent constitutional and statutory powers. Number three, while each stockholder has a right to vote under our existing laws, there is no certainty that the consequence will be able to elect a director to represent their interests, even with the use of cumulative voting. Number four, matters like increasing or decreasing the number of directors or amending the Articles of Incorporation or bylaws requires the exercise of business judgment. So, in the absence of clear constitutional or statutory provision granting the power to do, then government functionaries like the SEC should not frustrate that business judgment of the corporation. Number five, none of the grounds for rejection of Articles of Incorporation as indicated in Section 17 of the Corporation Code exists in this case. Number six, the issue of morality under Section 17 of the Corporation Code only refers to the purposes for which the corporation is organized, and it cannot be applied as a standard for each and every purpose of each and every act of the corporation of its component members or stockholders. Number seven, the requirement under Section 16 of the Code is that the amendment or provision in the Article of Incorporation must be for legitimate purposes, meaning it must be legal. Hence, standards of morality according to religious precepts does not apply here. Number eight, there is no showing that the procedure for removal of directors as prescribed in the code was not followed by the corporation. Hence, there is no violation of the law. Number nine, the law grants the right to amend the Articles of Incorporation to the stockholders representing at least 2/3 of the outstanding capital stock. That is the present state of the law, and that is what happened in this case. Hence, considering all what I have said, there is no reason why the SEC should disapprove the proposed amendments. So that's all, and thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Ms. Martin. We also have here Sir Mark from Makati City. Do you agree or disagree with the SEC resolution?
Yes, I am actually aware of the issue, and with that, I can say that I concur with the decision of the SEC in denying the application of Ayala Corporation for the approval of its amendments to its Articles of Incorporation for the following reasons. One, As far as I know, the corporation code authorizes the removal of a director with or without cause by a vote of the stockholders holding or representing two-thirds of the outstanding capital stock. However, this must not be used to deprive the majority stockholders or members of the right of representation to which they may be entitled. And the stockholders are entitled to cumulative voting, and as such, the minority stockholders are afforded the opportunity to be represented in the board of directors. So, with that, I can say that the approval and the denial of the proposed amendments ultimately depends on the question of whether or not said proposed amendments would deprive the minority stockholders of their opportunity to be represented in the board of directors. So I think we should be concerned not only with the fate of a particular minority director, but more importantly, in the opportunity for minority representation, not only now, but in the future. So, with that said, I would concur with the SEC decision. Thank you.
There you have it. We've heard about the stand of our citizens regarding this issue. Again, this has been Cyril Butino reporting for Sol News.
Thank you very much, Cyril. We had a poll, and majority of the members of the group voted for the concurring opinion. Thank you very much for watching. We hope we were able to help you get a grasp of the case of the Ayala Corporation. I am Rich Tiham, and this is Seoul News Live.
Come follow me to a secret place where only the moon can see. Beyond the shores, there is something more, just waiting for you and me. I see that you're yearning for something more. I feel the waves around me shaking me to my core. I can give to you everything you need. We can live on the water. There's something right about tonight. I come alive inside something more, just waiting for you and me. I see that you're yearning for something more. I feel the waves around me shaking me to my core. I can give to you everything you need. We can live on the water. Oh, there's something right about tonight. I come alive inside your eyes. Come follow me to a secret place where only the moon can see. Beyond the shores, there is something more, just waiting for you and me. I see that you're yearning for something more. I feel the waves around me shaking me to my core. I can give to you everything you need. We can live on the water. There's something right about tonight. I come alive inside your eyes.
So thank you very much, Titos and Titas. So I hope I was able to teach you well. And yung editing tutorial and templates that I've created, sana makatulong sa inyo in making your reports. Sana ma-impress nyo ang inyong mga professors, teachers, classmates, blockmates, groupmates. Wow! May lahat ko na talaga. Para naman magkaroon kayo ng mataas na grade and yun nga, ma-impress nyo sila. So, claiming high grades for you guys. So, yun. If you have good feedbacks na nanggagaling sa mga nakanood ng inyong reports, please comment down. Na-appreciate ko talaga yung mga comments nyo and para ganahan din ako na mag-create ng more contents regarding dyan sa mga creative way of reporting and stuff like that. Kasi ako, I love creating reports na merong theme like Among Us, ganyan, Jeopardy, so yun. So, kung ganahan ako, i-share ko din yun sa inyo, diba? So, please, comment down yung mga gusto nyong gawin nating contents. And if you have questions, comments, suggestions, comment lang kayo. Babasahin ko yan lahat at re-replyan ko yan. So there, claiming high grades for you, katulad nga ng sinabi ko kanina, sana ma-impress nyo yung mga makakanood niyang reports na yan. For God's greater glory. So yun. And please share this video para rin makatulong sa iba, and please like, share, follow, subscribe my YouTube channel and my social media accounts. Ayan, Juris Tita and www.juristita.com. So, till next time, Titos and Titas, ciao!